Here we are looking at coordinate geometry, chapter 3. So we're looking at linear graphing, which is talking about straight lines. In linear graphing, we use the following rule: y equals mx plus c. This is also called a linear equation. Linear graphs are always straight lines. Now, if you see them curved in U shapes, they're not linear. Okay. Now, there's two parts to a linear equation. There's the plus c, and this is your y-intercept. Now, we've talked about that before. It's where it crosses through the y-axis. And then we have the mx. This is the gradient of your line, or slope. Chapter 3.2, sketching linear graphs. Okay, so we're plotting linear graphs, which means we're plotting straight lines. Okay, there's two parts of these that we need to know in order to plot a straight line. The first thing is we're using our equation. Remembering the -5 is our y-intercept, so I'll just put a y there, and our 2x is going to be our gradient, which is our slope. Alright, so the first thing is we've got our -2x take 5, and we've also got the second part to it, which is our table of values. Now, as you can see across the top, we've got our x. Okay. Now, according to our equation, we're going to multiply all our x's by 2, and then we're going to take away 5 from that. So, for example, 2 times x, so 2 times -3 equals -6, so we're going to write that, and we're just going to take away 5 from there. Alright, so here we're going to have -11. Okay, next one, -2 times 2 equals -4, take away 5 equals -9, and so forth. So 2 times -1 is -2, take away 5 equals -7. Now this is where we know that our -5 is our y-intercept. When x is 0, our -5 is our y-intercept, so that's going to go there. Okay, so that just comes straight down, right, on 0. Next part is going up to 1. So 1 times 2 equals 2, take 5 equals -3, and we're just going to fill in the rest here. Okay, as you can see, each bit here is going up by +2. That's our gradient, as I said before, this bit here. Okay, so what we're going to do is now plot that on our graph. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is go across to -3 and down to -11, which is down here. Just put it on the corner. -2 to -9. Okay, so coming down. Sorry, just waving at the lights. -1, and then goes to -7. Now remember the y-intercept. Here's our y-intercept along here, and our -5 right there. Okay, so 0 equals -5. So again, with what we said here. All right, 1 and 3, 2 and 1, and then 3 is going to be 1. Okay, and then what you need to do with a ruler is actually draw. A bit better than what I've done, but I don't have a ruler. So draw through, okay, and then you have your linear graph. Okay, here we have another example of what we did in 3.2. Alright, so in the last question we had this y-intercept as -5, now we have it as +5. And our gradient is now going to be 3, which means each gap here is going to be a +3. Now again, I have to make sure it's when these numbers are in order. As you can see, they're going up by 1s. Okay, that's the only reason you're going to know that the gradient is 3. Okay, so now we're going to plot it. So 3 times -3 equals -9 plus 5, sorry, -4. Okay, if we're going to go up by 3s, we know this one's going to be -1. Okay, and we'll prove that. 3 times 3 times -2 equals -6 plus 5 equals -1. So you can see how it's working. 3 plus -1 equals -3 plus 5 gives you 2. Now we know this is our y-intercept. Here's our 0, so that just goes in nice and easy. And you can still see it's going up by 3. So that's going to be 8. That's going to be 11. That's going to be 14. That's the cheats way of doing it. Alright, now we're going to plot it. Now I haven't done our numbers on here, so we just have to do some numbers that are going to suit those coordinates. Okay, so we've got -3, -4 is our lowest, +3 and 14 is our highest. Alright, so here we can just go up by 2's, like so. Okay, so that's going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, and the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we know our lowest is 4, highest is 14, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we can use a scale of 1 square equals 2, like this. Okay, because you have to make it fit. Now, oops, that's meant to be 10. Now what you need to make sure is that the scale is the same all the way up. As you can see, it's going up by 2's. Okay, and it starts from each square is 2. So I just have to wave again. Alright, and on the other side, same thing. We're going down by down by 2's. Okay, each gap is the same size. If you don't have it as the same size, it's not going to work. Alright, so now we can plot it. It says -3, -4, so go across to -3 and down to -4 and put our dot. I'll do this in a different color so you can see it a bit better. So we'll put the dot there. -2, -1, so we're going to go just here, in between -1 and 2. So we're going to go up here. And then we know the next one's 5 because it's the y-intercept. And we're just going to go up by 3 each one now. Okay, and you can see it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so we're going to go up to there. Now you can see it is straight, so when you draw it with your ruler, we're going to go through. Yeah, I don't mind if you use a book or something, as long as it's a straight edge. You can see that it works there. Okay, just one more example. But in this case, we're going to have as a negative, okay, here, which means your line's going to go downwards. This is a negative gradient, this, okay? Before, if that was positive, it was going to go up like that, so a positive gradient. Again, our y-intercept, so if x equals 0, we're going to just have a 5, just there. Alright, now, first of all, fill in your table of values. Okay, -3 times -3 is 9, plus 5 is 14. -3 times 2 equals 6, plus 5 equals 11, or so. Alright, as you can see, this is going down by 3's, and we know that because it suits our gradient. Alright, so which means we can just fill it in. Go down by 3, 5 take 3 equals 2, 2 take 3 equals -1, and -4. Now all we do is plot it. Okay, so x's we need to do go up by 1's. So we're just going to do a few lines in on either side, like so. Fill it in with our appropriate scale, and same on here. So, like in the last one, we go up by 2's. Okay, just to make it fit nicely. Oops. Oops, can't even count. Alright, and this same it down here, goes down by negatives though, like so. That's all I need. Alright, so -3, I'll do this in a different colour so you can see. So -3 and 14, so go across to -3 up to 14, put a dot. Cross -2 to 11, then 1 equals 8, 5, and then we go down to 2, -1, and -4. Okay, and as you can see, it's going down in a negative slope when you join them. Nice and easy.